everybody. I am Katie Farner, Superstar Director for the Sunshine State Superstars, and I am so thrilled to welcome you to week 1 of our Climb program. Morgan and I have been working really hard on this program to ensure that we are going to put together content that is going to help you right where you're at in your business. Now, I want to say this before we kick off any of the meat that we have here for week 1, and that is that you are the most important piece of the puzzle. It doesn't matter if this program is full of tons of golden nuggets and tons of helpful information and ideas. What really matters is what you do with it, guys. That is all that matters here. So I want to challenge you to really commit to this program over the next 8 weeks. 8 weeks is a very short period of time, guys. 8 weeks. I am begging you, challenging you to focus on this program and the challenges each week over the next 8 weeks. And I know that these principles that we're going to be sharing with you guys, these tips that we're going to be sharing with you guys, are things that are going to stick with you along your journey and as you continue to promote up the compensation plan. So here in week 1, we're going to be talking about networking. So I'm going to give you a little backstory for me. When I first started as a Scentsy consultant, I honestly thought what I needed to focus on was sales. And I thought sales was the most important thing and that I needed to be a good salesperson. And I always have been great at sales. So I thought, oh, this will be easy for me. I won't have to work that hard at it. And, because I'm good at sales, I'll do well, without even that much effort. But I was wrong. I was totally wrong. This business is not a sales business. This business is a marketing business. That's why they call it network marketing. So, fortunately, networking is a skill that we can develop. Pretty much everything that we're going to challenge you to do and train you on over these next 8 weeks are things that are skills that you can develop. None of this stuff is just God-given, blessings, like, oh, I'm just an excellent networker. I was just born an excellent networker. Not really. I mean, you don't really hear people say that often, right? Networking is absolutely a skill that you can develop and become better at. So that's what we're going to talk about in week 1. The first time I heard somebody talk about networking and the priority of networking was when I was actually at Mastermind, which is one of my favorite network marketing conferences. It is great, super, super awesome. If you ever get the opportunity to go to Mastermind, you should. It's a wonderful training. But anyway, that's the first time I really heard people talking about networking. And in that specific training, they were discussing how when it comes to your network, your warm network, it's either growing or shrinking. There is no in between. There is no just maintaining or staying stagnant with your network. Your network is either growing or shrinking. And so your daily actions are either encouraging your network to grow or encouraging your network to shrink. So when you look at your month, when you look at your week, are you ever looking at it from the perspective of networking? And do you ever ask yourself, what do I have going on this week that's going to ensure that I'm networking and meeting some new people and getting my face and my brand in front of people's faces, new people's faces? Do you ever think about your business in that type of perspective? That is the perspective shift that I want you to make following this week 1 video. Instead of networking just being something that is maybe a fleeting thought every now and again, like maybe if you feel like, I need some new hostesses, or I need some new people to talk to about the business opportunity, I should start doing some networking. I want it to be always there, always on your mind. It is part of your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly routine that networking is part of your thought process, and networking is part of your just consistent life. That's the shift that I want to see happen because of this video. Because if you really get this, and if you really make this shift, you're going to see huge changes in the other areas of your business. Because think about it this way: if your network is constantly expanding and you have more and more people that are joining you in your social media groups, more and more people that are joining you on social media and now following you, and you interact with more people out in public, and you interact with more people online, how is that not going to make a positive impact on your business? That is now more people seeing your business opportunity, more people seeing your new products, more people seeing how beneficial it is to host a party with you. It's more people getting to see all of these things, and that exposure to these people is going to produce positive results. So you can see how, if you're not consistently growing your network and you don't consistently have more and more people to share with, your pool is going to get smaller, because guess what? People move away, or people get somebody else who signs up to sell it that they're closer to, and they start buying from them, or they just stop using it for some reason. I've had that happen too. You never know what the reason is necessarily, but your contacts, your customer base will shrink if you're not consistently fueling it. It's either going to be growing or it's going to be shrinking. So I want to share with you some tips for networking. All right, so let's talk about networking in person. And this kind of ties in, we'll talk about networking in person and then going into social media. So when it comes to networking in person, don't overcomplicate this, guys. Too many consultants overcomplicate the aspects of this business. And this business is a very simple business. We overcomplicate it oftentimes, but it is simple. Networking is being out in public or online and being friendly with someone and initiating in a conversation. That is networking. That's it. I am not asking you to do something that you have not already been doing your entire life. You've already been networking your entire life. Since you were a child, you've been networking. Can you develop your skills and become an even better networker? Absolutely you can. And that's what we're going to talk about. So when it comes to networking in person, there are opportunities to do this every single day. When you're running errands for work, or when you're running personal errands, or when you're, even if you're not leaving the house and you have an Instacart delivery person come into the house with your groceries, when you pick up the kids from school, when you are at soccer practice, or, a PTA meeting, or whatever it is, you throughout the week go places and you see people and you interact with people. Are you seizing those opportunities, or are you just letting them be non-opportunities? Are you creating opportunities in your life, or are you just okay with zero opportunities? Because it's not going to just happen on its own. And, a lot of consultants will think, oh, well, I'm just going to brand myself. And then that helps, because if people are interested, they're going to ask me about it. People are shy. Why do you think you're stressing as I'm talking to you about networking? You might be shy. And so the thought of networking to you has you shaking in your boots because you don't want to do it, right? So think about the shy person that would only benefit from talking to you if they, love Scentsy and want Scentsy, and then they have to have the initiative to and the courage to actually say something to you and be like, oh, you sell Scentsy? I love that stuff. Can I get your card or whatever? Most people aren't that bold, right? So plus it's your business. You're the one with the skin in the game, right? So you should be the one putting that effort out there. Okay. So when you're out and about, just be friendly, talk to people, offer free samples, give things to people. That's what I do. So like if I'm at the grocery store, which that's a bad example because I don't really go to the grocery store anymore, but let's say that I'm checking out at Target or I'm wherever. I just try to make conversation with the person around me. And it's as simple as giving a compliment and saying, oh, your shirt is so pretty, or, oh, I love your handbag, or, oh, your daughter's dress is so cute. Or, oh, I buy that chicken too. I love that chicken. Do you have any good recipes or something that you use that for? Initiate and engage somebody in a conversation. It's that simple. You just look for the opportunity. Starting with a compliment is always a great way. And then I just kind of see how the conversation goes. See if they are engaging back with me. And most of the time, a natural conversation will flow. And when that happens, as the conversation's wrapping up, I'll say, oh, it's so great chatting with you today. You made the line go by so fast. Here, enjoy this Scentsy sample on me. And I always like to be sure to say Scentsy, because when I do that, they're going to either respond in one of three ways. They're either going to be like, okay, thanks, and walk away, or they're going to say, oh my gosh, I love Scentsy. And in that instance, I'm always quick to ask them a couple questions. So I ask them, oh, do you already have some Scentsy at home? Oftentimes they don't even have it, and they just know somebody who has it, and so they're going to say that they love it and they think it's awesome, and they don't even have it, guys. That's craziness. And if they say, yeah, my sister-in-law has it or whatever, I'll say, oh, that's great. What is she, a consultant or something? And, kind of just go from there and see where the conversation goes. The other thing that they would potentially say is, what's Scentsy? And in that case, guys, you got to know your pitch. What's your quick 10-second or less pitch? What is Scentsy? How are you personally, based on your style, your, vernacular, how are you going to describe Scentsy? I say, oh my gosh, you haven't used Scentsy before? I'm really excited that I get to tell you about it. They're these beautiful decorative warmers that use electricity to safely make your house smell amazing. And I'll say, oh, here's my, product list along with that sample. I always keep product lists in my purse because they're the least expensive of all of our catalog materials, but they still show all of our beautiful warmers, and they still list all of our fragrances and still show all of our diffusers and all of that good stuff. So it's a great brochure to carry on hand when you're out and about networking. Now, my goal when I'm meeting people in person is to never leave without connecting on social media. And my go-to is always Instagram. I start with Instagram first. So I will ask them, are you on Instagram? I'd love to get connected with you. And if they are on Instagram, then I just pull up my little name tag, I think is what it's called, name tag. And if you don't know where that is, you go to your personal Instagram account page where you see all your pictures, and then on the top hand right there's like some lines, and you click on that, and then it'll say view name tag. So when you click that, it'll pull up your it's basically something they could scan. So they hold their phone over yours and they take a photograph, like they scan when they're in the Instagram app, they scan your name tag, and then bam, your profile pulls up and you guys can become friends that easily. So it's kind of like a virtual business card, if you will, for the modern networker. And what's so great about that is now you're connected on your social media account. So you can send them a private message or a DM, as they say on Instagram, and you can message that person after you've met them and ask them about the sample you sent them and blah, blah, blah. It's even better than, trying to ask them for like their cell phone number or any of that kind of stuff. Connect with everybody you network with in person on Instagram or Facebook. If they're not on Instagram, ask them about Facebook next. Because Instagram is more of a newer option for social media, so they might not have an Instagram account. So ask them about Facebook next. But no matter what, the most important thing during an in-person networking interaction is that you leave with their contact information. Like I said before, you're the one with the skin in the game, guys. This is your business. You can't leave it up to chance, right? And if you hand somebody your business card and hope that they're going to not lose it or wash it in their jeans or get around to contacting you, whose hands are you leaving your business in? You're leaving your business in their hands. And why would you ever do that? Don't leave things to chance. Keep the control over your own business. And that is one of the great things about networking is, guys, you control it. I guess maybe I'm a control freak. I don't know. But there's plenty of pieces of this business, plenty of elements in this business where you have zero control. But this is one of the aspects where you are in the driver's seat. You control your networking. You control how many people you talk to in a week. You control how many people you gain as a social media contact in a week, in a month. You are in control of this, guys. And if you know that networking is directly tied to your success, why would you not be all on board, 100% on board with networking as a priority, right? Okay, so don't just give out your business card. Don't just hope for the best. Get their contact information as well in return. And the easiest scenario in which to get their contact information is, of course, when they tell you that they love Scentsy. If they love Scentsy and they already have it, it's not their friend or their cousin or whoever that has Scentsy. If they themselves have Scentsy, you always want to ask, do you have a consultant? Because you don't want to be, we reap what we sow, right? So you don't want to be stealing somebody's customer. So I always ask, do you have a consultant that that's already helping you with your needs? I'm not going to lie to you, 99% of the time, the answer is no. Why? Because a lot of consultants don't do their follow-up, and a lot of consultants let their customers go. And so yeah, it's another example there that we'll talk about later, which is following up. But anyway, so yeah, that's an amazing way that they're going to easily want to connect with you, because you say, oh my gosh, you've been abandoned. Oh, I'm not going to let that happen. Here, let's connect on social media, and I will always be available to help you with all your Scentsy needs. I will never let you be abandoned again. That's like my favorite way to say it, but you got to say what's authentic to you. Okay, so that's networking in person in a nutshell. The other thing I want to add to that is, guys, there are so many, churches and groups and clubs and organizations, and there's endless stuff in your community. If you are not involved in at least one thing in your community, whether it's attending a church or attending a MOPS program because you're a mom, or whether it's attending a Bible study or a scrapbooking class or a networking small business group or whatever, even if it's a weekly, monthly kids play date thing, opportunity. Like, there are so many things in our communities for us to network and engage with people. You need to be doing that. Make that a priority. Okay, so now let's talk about, since we just talked about adding people on social media, let's talk a little bit about social media networking. Okay, so you have to remember that social media is your platform to either attract people to you or push people away. And there are, let me think how to word this. There's so many people on social media that are pushing people away. So you have got to be very careful on what you're posting on social media. Here's the thing, like, I get it. This is your own personal Facebook page. Like, I know you probably, might feel like, well, hey, I have a right to say whatever I want to say. And if they don't like it, oh, well, that's fine. That's how you feel. But if you want to grow a network marketing business and your priority is to grow this business and make income, then I would think voicing your opinions isn't as important as that. That's just my thoughts. Nobody has any idea who I voted for in all the elections since I've been a consultant. Nobody has any idea of any of my political views. I don't speak on anything that is controversial whatsoever on social media, because I have seen way too many consultants lose customers, hostesses, even team members over things like that. So it is very important that your social media page be attractive and your social media posts be attractive. If you want to vent, if you want to complain, if you want to, be and moan, talk to your mom, talk to your spouse, talk to your friend, talk to somebody, scream into a pillow. I don't care. Whatever you got to do, just don't do it on Facebook because it's going to hurt your business. I'm telling you, it will. I've seen it countless times and I don't want it for any of you because I know you want more for your business, because if you didn't want more for your business, you wouldn't be here right now, would you? No, you wouldn't be watching this. Okay, so keep your social media page attractive. All right, so you guys have probably heard the 80-20 rule. On your personal page, keep it 80% personal, 20% business. And when you are doing business posts, guys, keep it original, authentic. Don't just always be posting stock images. Go live every single time we get a brand new collection, an LTO, whatever, the warmer and scent of the month. I go live, I show it, and I give my first sniffs. It's important that you go live and that you show how you're using the product. So when it comes to posting about the products, it's a lot easier to show how you're using the products if you're really using the products. So are you using the products? The other day, I made a post on Instagram. Yesterday, I made a post on Instagram. And my pit bull was in the picture. I was in my laundry room. She was at my feet as I was folding laundry. I made sure to include her in the picture. And the lavender cotton dryer disc was like sitting on the door of the dryer, and it was open so you could see the dryer disc. So I was sure to use that marketing opportunity. So, you know, I said something cute about how she's always at my feet, and I did hashtag pitbulls of Instagram. And then I, of course, also talked about the Scentsy laundry and the lavender cotton dryer disc. So you can easily do these kinds of things if you're using all of our products. If all you're using is our warmers and wax, it's a lot harder to post like original, authentic stuff, right? Because all you're doing is changing your wax maybe once a week. So you can be like, Wax Wednesday, but then what else are you gonna do the rest of the week, right? It's a lot harder when you're not using everything we sell. So you need to be using all of our products and showcasing how you're using those products and how they're making your life better. How are they enhancing your life, right? Recently, one of my good friends, Jennifer Anderson, made a post on her personal Facebook about how she was cleaning out her car, and she was using Scentsy Counter Clean. So if you're actually authentically using our stuff, it's easy to authentically market on social media. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're using our stuff and make sure you're sharing how you're using it. It's that simple. Another thing on social media, when it comes to actual networking on social media, there's so many things that you can do to encourage your customers to be tagging you, posting about their experiences on social media. Make some kind of a graphic, or I guarantee there's some in the flyers groups. There's like a billion flyers groups. Make some kind of graphic. I like to do it myself because I like to put my face on everything. It just creates that connection. Make an image, a graphic that says something like, thank you for your order. Every month I do a drawing for anybody who posts about their order on social media and tags me. Post a photo or post a blurb, just expressing your love of the product or whatever, and tag me on Facebook, and you'll be entered into my monthly drawing. Bam, something like that. And once a month, all I do is I give away one free bar of the scent of the month. I already have 9 of them on hand, right? Because I'm enrolled in Scent and Warmer of the Month, and you better be too. If you're in this training because you are here, obviously because you're a leader, you want to grow up this comp plan, and you better be enrolled in Scent and Warmer of the Month. At least Scent. So I know you are, and you got 9 bars laying around, so give away one of them and do a drawing once a month for anybody who tagged you in a post on social media. What does that do? That gets their friends seeing things, right? And then you can interact with and network with anybody who comments or likes it. Anybody who likes it, I would look at their profile and send them a friend request. Anybody who likes it, because clearly they like Scentsy, so why not introduce them to yourself, right? Anybody who comments or has questions, of course, that's an opportunity for you to network with them. Also, on social media, there are so many groups available to us. Whether it's for a hobby that you have an interest in, or whether it's for a program that your child might be involved in, a club or whatever, or whether it's for, you know, the type of dog you have or the type of car you drive or whatever. There's clubs, there's groups and stuff for everything you can imagine on Facebook. Are you in these groups? And if you're in groups like this, are you actually like engaging in stuff? Like I'm in groups for people that have dachshunds. I'm in groups for people that have pit bulls. And like I'll post a picture or something, and you know, people who comment, I just like get friendly with them and network and stuff like that. And then if they interact with me, I send them a friend request. Like, and then of course, now that they're your friends, they're gonna see what you do, and they're gonna see your Scentsy posts, and they're going to be able to, you know, interact with those posts that interest them. So really, when you're networking on social media, your goal, and when you're networking in person as well, your goal is to ensure that more and more and more and more and more and more people are introduced to you and what you bring to the table. The more opportunities they have to see what you do, to see what you sell, to see your business opportunity, the more people are going to be attracted to it. It's a numbers game, right? It's just like I always say to people when I'm coaching them about like working with their teams, like this is a numbers game. You just need more people. Like the more people that are in there, the easier it's going to be to maintain those numbers or whatever, right? It's the same thing with your networking. Like that's why we network, right? To consistently be growing our outreach, you know, who we're putting ourselves in front of. So those are a few tips on social media networking and networking in person. Really, the key to being a good networker is your own willingness to step out of your comfort zone. And that's why it's important to know what the heck you're fighting for. That's why it's so important. And we talk about all the time on trainings. What's your why? Why are you here? You know, what are you fighting for? The reason is because some of this stuff is difficult to do, right? Like for some people, the thought of networking and doing this stuff is terrifying. But if what you want over here is worth it, then it's worth being scared for 30 seconds when you try to talk to somebody, right? So you're going to be, if you are going to take this business seriously and you want to grow your business, networking needs to be the foundation of your business. And that is going to require you to step out of your comfort zone. You know, but all the cheesy quotes out there and all that stuff is not wrong, guys. It's the truth. Nothing good, no great achievements have come from people that were stuck in their comfort zones. And you get yourself trapped and you think you're in this bubble of safety when actually you're in a bubble that's preventing you from success. So pop that false bubble of safety and get out there and pursue your goals through networking. And really with networking, like I said earlier, the consistency of it is the critical thing, right? Don't just network during, you know, incentive season or when you feel like, oh, I need some new hostesses, or oh, I need some new team members, I better start networking. It can't just be something that you kind of sprinkle in throughout your year. It is truly the foundation of your success in this business. A lot of times on my coaching calls, when people are telling me like, oh, none of my people want to party and none of my people want to order and I'm just so frustrated, I ask them, how's your networking going? When's the last time you were really focused on networking? And the answer is always, no, I haven't been networking. I haven't. It's the foundation. If you have a consistent pattern of networking, you are going to find you're consistently meeting new customers, new hostesses, and new team members. That is the truth. And you know, one of my other favorite ways to network is through events. I love vendor events. And at my vendor events, I put up a sign that is actually a picture of my name tag on Instagram. And I tell them, you know, friend me on Instagram for a prize. And all it is a sample. I give them a free sample. But that way, at least people are earning these samples that I'm giving them versus just giving out samples. I could sit here and talk with you guys and give you guys tips about networking for hours. There's so many things that you can do. And so this week, I'll actually post a couple of videos that are some of my favorites, with more networking tips that you can watch as an extra if you want to do so, because there's just so many things out there to give you networking tips. But it really is true that the other areas of your business will be healthier and will thrive when you focus on networking. Like I said, I always look at my calendar at the beginning of the month and I say, all right, what's on my calendar? What do I have that's going to ensure that I'm meeting new people? I can't tell you how many times, like, I've just gone to events, even if it wasn't an event where I could set up a booth, because maybe they're like, no direct sellers or some stupid stuff like that. I wouldn't do this if there was a Scentsy consultant already there, but there's plenty of events where they'll say no direct sellers, like a lot of those like art and craft festivals and stuff. I'll go wear a Scentsy shirt and bring a little basket of like some samples, and I'll just like walk around and maybe talk to some of the vendors that are there, and just like walk around with samples and offer samples to people. If it's a big event in my local community and I can't be there with a booth, why not just be there and walk around and network? Why not? What's stopping me? You know, there's so many opportunities to network, and if we're not focused on it, if it's not something that's intentional, it's not going to be fruitful, right? Because we're going to miss so many opportunities throughout the course of our week, our month, our day, if we're not intentional about our networking. And if we're not prepared, you know, you can't really network if you're not prepared. That's why I started doing 50 samples every single month and 10 possibility packets. And I will not rest. My month will not be over until those 50 samples and those 10 possibility packets are gone. So like by my door that leads out to my garage where my car is, I have a basket full of samples, and I'll grab a handful every time I leave the house. And I make sure that before that month ends, there are no samples left in that basket. And it just helps me to ensure that I can actually see my goal, right? Imagine if you challenged yourself to really do that. We're going to wrap up this video now, and I'm going to give you guys your homework for the week. So your homework for the week is, I want you to look at your calendar for the month of June, and I want you to ask yourself, what do I have on my calendar? Just like I ask myself every month, what do I have on my calendar that is going to ensure that I am getting in front of new people? Maybe you've got a home party booked and it's a repeat hostess. You could think, oh, well, I guess, you know, that's not going to help because she's already hosted a party with me. But what's it been, 6 months since she hosted her last party with you? Are you telling me that there's nobody new in her life in the last 6 months? No new coworkers, no new neighbors, no new friends? Heck, there's people that she invited to her party 6 months ago that didn't get to make it that maybe could now. So if you're intentional and you plant the seed with your hostess and let her know what you need, and you say, hey, if you can get 3 people to your party that I haven't met before, I'm going to give you an extra gift at your party. You could just bring her a $5, $10 Starbucks gift card. You could bring her a hand cream. You could give her a hand soap with a cute little note that says, hands down, you're the best hostess ever, whatever. There are so many little things that you could do. You could give her that extra half-price perpetual party reward if you want. But you see how you're intentional, right? Like you're planning ahead and you know, hey, I have this repeat hostess, but I'm going to ensure that there's some new people there. Because if you tell that hostess what you need and you reward that behavior, she is going to be way more likely to do it. Not only this time, but next time. So anyway, do you have some parties on your calendar? Do something like that to ensure that you're getting some new people there. Do you have an event on your calendar? That is like the best way to ensure you're meeting new people. If you don't have an event on your calendar for the month of June, get to searching and find one to put on your calendar for the month of July, right? And if you don't have anything on your calendar, then you better get to work because the month has already begun. And even despite what you have on your calendar, in your day-to-day life, how are you going to network? Okay, so that's your challenge 1. I want you to look at your month, look at what your opportunities are and how you're going to plan ahead to be sure that you're meeting new people from these things. And I don't even just mean your Scentsy parties and whatnot. You might have, meet the teacher night or whatever, I don't know. You might have whatever, personal stuff on your calendar too. Ask yourself, how am I going to ensure that I'm meeting new people through this personal activity, through this meeting, through this thing at the school? Because gosh, even like if you're going for a teacher conference, like bring the teacher a little gift, a little Scentsy gift. Bring her a stinking scent circle. Cost you nothing, or probably was free. Was probably very inexpensive. Bring the teacher something. Plant that seed, right? Use and seize every single opportunity to network. So the other piece of the challenge is I want you to get yourself prepared with your 50 samples and your 10 possibility packets for the month of June, if you haven't already. Now, I know the Sunshine State Superstars, this is something we talk about all the time. And I believe in Magnificent Superstars also. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like forgetting her team name. In Morgan's team, I bet y'all talk about the 50-10 rule also. So you might already be prepared and then you're ahead of the game. But if not, I want you to start sampling away. Get yourself ready. Get your 50 samples and your 10 possibility packets ready. And hey, if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about when I say a possibility packet, it's basically just a packet of information about the Join brochure. And I don't want you to think, oh, well, I don't have the folders and all the cool stuff. It does not matter. I'd rather you literally just give out the Join brochures that came in your starter kit with your label on it than give out nothing at all. So give out 10 of those. Whatever you got, make it work. Just make it look professional and, not all wrinkled and mess, and give it away, because it is way better than nothing, right? I joined and I sure wasn't given a possibility packet or a Join brochure or any of that stuff. So you just got to plant that seed, and having that possibility packet is part of that, or having that Join brochure is part of that. So that is your challenge for the week. Get your 50 samples and your 10 possibility packets or pieces of Join information ready for the month of June, and start working on handing those out. Look for your opportunities this month. Where are you going to have your opportunities to network, and how are you going to prepare to network and meet new people through those things on your calendar? Thanks for joining me for week 1. And next Sunday, you will have a new video for week 2, which is Find Your Party Style and Rock It. And Morgan will be coming to you with this one. So make sure that you complete your homework before Saturday night, so you are ready to rock and roll and start your new week off on Sunday. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.